Hey everybody, Anthony here. I wanted to briefly fill you guys in on one of the struggles that my wife and I, my family and I have been facing this whole time. We have been living this life of ministering to others for 6 years now, ever since we got married in September 2011. We have been learning to counsel, we've been learning to disciple, and we've been learning the prophetic, which has been an integral part of our life so far. And we highly enjoy it. It's a wonderful life. There's a lot of sacrifices that we've had to make, and we willingly do so for the sake of the glory of Christ. I know not everyone agrees with that, and that's your right. I'm not here to convince you to believe how we believe or anything like that. Like I said, I want to give you a brief rundown of why we believe what we believe. In the beginning, we heard the voice of God telling us outright that we are to trust Him for all finances, and it was a scary thought. It really was. When I first heard God telling me to quit my job, I'm going, Lord, I know it don't pay that much, but we need the money. How are we going to pay bills? How are we going to put groceries on the table? And every argument I brought up, for example, groceries, I had someone come up to me and say, there's this food ministry over here, and they have more groceries than you'll ever use. That's available to you. And I said, well, what about bills? And I had another person come up to me, and they were, the words that they spoke, not even knowing what I was asking God. Not even knowing the struggle I was facing. These arguments of mine were silenced very quickly by God bringing about answers in ways that I was not expecting. And at the time, I didn't have scripture to back it up. And that, hindsight, I can see that was a problem. And at the time, I was basically relearning Christianity 101. I was going to learn the deeper things as well. I was beginning to learn how to counsel, how to disciple. There was a lot of things that I had to relearn and learn for the first time. And it was a wonderful, wild, crazy journey. A few weeks ago, my wife and I were doing a Bible study, and God brought to mind 1 Corinthians chapter 9. I believe it's around verse 7 to 18 or something like that. And as soon as I read it, I literally trembled with excitement. I said, honey, look, this is what we've been asking God for. This is what we've been asking. This is the scripture backing up how we live. And I'd known about that scripture for how long? It just never, the revelation didn't hit me at that point until that particular Bible study. And here, they were talking about, even under the law of Moses, you're not to muzzle the oxen as they tread the grain. It says if someone is teaching the gospel, they need to make a living off the gospel. Even those who work in the temple live off the temple. So, in other words, if you're spending your life teaching others the deeper things of God, if you're teaching other people the gospel, you need to be paid for that. Now, in the beginning, God told us, and all throughout our life, God has told us not to ask anyone for finances, that we are to trust Him entirely for finances. And we've had people that backed us up at one time and then turned against us a little while later because of pressure from other people. But here it was in the Bible, outright stating that, hey, I'm not going to ask for the money lest one person doesn't receive the gospel and winds up in hell. No, I won't ask. Far be it from me to ask, because I'm not looking to offend. I'm not looking to put a wedge between us. If that's going to prevent me from teaching you, from discipling you, from helping you understand what God is saying, what God is doing, then forgive me. I'm not willing to let that wedge come between us. And right there we were looking at this going, we are, I guess, in a sense, oxen treading the grain. And, it's a long, hard road to get where we're at. And it's been a lonely road when it comes to fellowshipping with like-minded believers. And we've had people walk with us for a while and then suddenly turn on us. And some were rather cold and vicious, and we still love them, we forgive them, we bless them to go forward in their walk. But we're not changing what we believe, and we only change what we believe when we hear the voice of God telling us what to do. And we don't move without his voice. So, in a nutshell, that's essentially where things are at. Maybe sometime I can do a longer video. I know if I'm going through videos and I see it's like 12 minutes, it's like, do I really want to watch this? And again, this is a new thing for me, so I felt God telling me to do this, and I want to be obedient. So I guess I'll talk at you a little bit later. You all be blessed. Have a good day. And may the Lord grant you some sweet, sweet revelation. And I hope this has helped you understand a little better why we do what we do.